public speaking coach gave me advice on what to do to fight nerves before getting on stage. He said before going up, just kind of say to yourself, Jesus, isn't this all fucking mad? And, didn't work. Anyway, I'm Killian. I research genetic eye disease. Specifically, I'm looking at gene therapy for trying to cure eye disease. Also known as the field of, oh, we'll have a cure in 5 to 10 years. Forever. At the end of my undergrad a few years ago, I thought long and hard about what it is I want to do afterwards. You know, who do I want to help? What do I want to study? How much money do I want to earn? None, apparently. And then eventually the thought came to me, well, what better for someone with a God complex than actually trying to cure the blind? Although, Jesus was great and all, but he wasn't a very good scientist. I mean, where were his untreated controls? Was the Bible even peer-reviewed? So we use gene therapy to try and treat eye disease. Basically, we take a harmless little virus and put a working gene into it and inject that into our eye or whatever to try and fix or replace the broken gene. But people get antsy when you mention putting viruses into it. Are we going to cause more harm than good? Are we going to cause a disease? Or more frequently, is this how the zombie apocalypse begins? You know, you can say, you know, it's safe, we've tested it for years, we have years of expertise, but it's much more fun to just say, what are we going to do? Blind them? So, a lot of my research revolves around using mice for testing therapies. You know, it's tough. You try to tell yourself it's for the greater good, you know, we try to minimize cruelty, but sometimes people antagonize you about it. They get up in front of your face and say, how could you do this to animals, you know, that don't have a choice? Often while they're wearing leather jackets and eating hamburgers at SeaWorld. It's, the eye itself is very complex. The retina, the part that sees, there's 200 million cells crammed into the back of your eye and 60 different cell types. But that complexity is sometimes used by certain Americans from the southern part of the country to argue against the existence of evolution. I actually think it's a really good argument in the other direction. You see, you have about 100 million photoreceptor cells that you use to see, and they pass that signal on to another 100 million cells en route to the brain. The whole bloody thing is set up backwards. The photoreceptors actually lie at the back. Behind the cells they pass the signal to pass it back to the brain. It's like a game of ping pong. The whole it's ludicrous. Like there's no way the eye can be used as an argument against evolution, because no all-known being would design something so fucking stupid from the very beginning. I mean, call it creationism if you like, but give up this intelligent design business, will you? The disease I study is called LHON. It's a very rare disease. Only about 150,000 people in the world have it. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but what I work on is so specific that I often find it difficult getting across to my family exactly what it is that I do. And so what happens then is every few months I'll get a call from an aunt. I have a lot of aunts. It goes something like this. Killian, my cousin or sister-in-law friend, once a postman, has a genetic disease. Can you do anything to help them? To which my normal response is, if I could, do you really think I'd be working for less than minimum wage? Now, I do have quite a severe genetic disease myself. I'm lactose intolerant. I know, I try to be strong. Some people say to me, you know, I can't go around saying this is a real disease, and obviously they've never walked past Ray's Pizza after a night out, knowing that delicious aroma will forever be denied. Obviously what I have is perfectly benign, but there's a very common, purely genetic visual affliction that affects 3 or 4 people in this room. They're hideous. No, sorry, they're colorblind. So you have 4 kinds of photoreceptors. You have rods that kind of see dim light monochromatically in black and white, and 3 flavors of cones. You've got blue, green, and red, with the less common ones being cornettos and 99s. And in people with colour blindness, one of the genes for sensing that, usually the green one, gets faulty or left out. And so, you get this sort of dog vision where you can't tell the difference between apples and plants. They actually developed a gene therapy for it a few years ago that could cure it in monkeys, but unfortunately monkeys don't actually pay. So that went nowhere. But last year, a group called Enchroma made these cool little sunglasses to allow colourblind people to see normally. And what they do is they kind of push reds and greens further apart, so you can, so people with faulty cones can still see it normally. And there's loads of YouTube reaction videos of people trying them on for the first time. And there really is something utterly heartwarming about a grown man bursting into tears while shouting, "Is that purple?" And a result of that now is that you've got a load of people walking around as if in a daze, utterly transfixed by the world around them. Well, which is actually not unlike people playing Pokemon Go. Since though on my way here, that's actually what I did. I can't really talk. Actually, I don't know why I'm so nervous. You've been a lovely crowd. You're laughing at all the right spots. It really puts in perspective that time I went to a fetch, and I got up on stage and I forgot my poem, and I burst into tears. It was the worst 8th birthday you can imagine. It's been a little bit less emotional than that, just a touch. But no, I think my time is almost up. Well, I hope it is, because I've run out of things to say. So thank you for listening to me. I really hope you've learned something about the eye. And if you have, please let me know later on what it was. Thank you.